1. All right. We are. Good Game is live. D Live is live. We're live on Twitter. We're now live on YouTube. Waiting for Twitch. Twitch is now live. Hello, everybody. So, first Bible reading stream in 4 months. 3-4 months, something like that. Anyway, a long time. All right. So we continued on Genesis 25:22. Let's see. When the camels had finished drinking, the man took a gold ring weighing half a shekel and two bracelets for her arms weighing 10 gold shekels, and said, "Please tell me whose daughter you are. Is there room in your father's house for us to spend that night, or to spend the night?" He said to him, "I am the daughter of Bethuel." Sophie Wish, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. Appreciate it. I am the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Milcah, who she bore to Nahot. She added, "We have plenty of both straw and fodder, and room to spend the night." The man bowed his head and worshipped the Lord, and said, "Blessed be the Lord, the God of my master Abram, who has not forsaken his steadfast love and his faithfulness towards my master. As for me, the Lord has led me in the way to the house of my master's kinsman." Then the young woman ran and told her mother's household about the things. All right, I think I need a little refresher because I'm a little lost. Remember the last time it was, like 3 or 4 months ago. So I'm gonna go back to Genesis 25:24. Oh, wait a minute. This is 25:22. Okay, that's what I thought. All right. Yeah, I gotta go back to Genesis 24. And now Abraham was old, well advanced in years, and the Lord had blessed Abraham in all things. And Abraham said to his servant, the oldest of the household, who had charge of all that he had, "Put your hand under my thigh, that I may make you swear by the Lord, the God of heaven and the God of the earth, that you will not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I dwell, but will go to my country and to my kindred and take a wife for my son Isaac." Okay. All right. I remember now. So the guy that gave the girl the the jewelry, he's on a mission to look for a wife for Abraham's son Isaac. Okay, so all right, continued. Rebecca had a brother whose name was Laban. Laban ran out towards the man to the spring. As soon as he saw the ring and the bracelets on his sister's arms, and heard the words of Rebekah his sister. Thus the man spoke to me. He went to the man, and behold, he was standing by the camels at the spring. Yeah, okay, I remember. So he went back to where Abraham wanted him to find a wife, and he found some ladies collecting water. So that's the spring. Okay. He said, "Come in, O blessed of the Lord. Why do you stand outside? For I have prepared the house and a place for the camels." So the man came to the house and unharnessed the camels and gave straw and fodder to the camels. And there was water to wash his feet and the feet of the men who were with him. The food was set before him to eat, but he said, "I will not eat until I have said what I have to say." Just a real note, real quick, like money talks. Okay, he just found this girl, gave her a bunch of fancy jewelry, and just ask a favor, and then the brother ran out like, "Hey, come in." So, you know, money talks. He said, "Speak on." So he said, "I am Abram's servant. The Lord has greatly blessed my master, and he has become great. He has given him flocks and herds, silver and gold, male servants and female servants, camels and donkeys. And Sarah, my master's wife, bore a son to my master when she was old, and to him he has given all that he has. My master made me swear, saying, You shall not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites, in whom land I dwell. But you shall go to my father's house and to my clan, and take a wife for my son." I said to my master, "Perhaps the woman will not follow me." But he said to me, "The Lord, before whom I have walked, will send his angel with you, and prosper your way. You shall take a wife for my son from my clan and from my father's house. Then you will be free from your oath. When you come to my clan, and if they will not give her to you, you will be free from my oath." I came today to the spring and said, "O Lord, the God of my master Abram, if now you are prospering the way that I go, behold, I am standing by the spring of water. Let the virgin who comes out to draw water, to whom I shall say, 'Please give me a little water from your jar to drink,' and who will say to me, 'Drink, and I will draw for your camels also.' Let her be the woman whom the Lord has appointed to my master's son." Okay, so he set up some conditions in order to know what God wanted. Like, okay, so you want me to pick the girl? So it's the girl that I'm gonna ask, for some water, and she will give me some water and also offer to water the camels. So that's the proper girl. If that happens, then I will know that it's God's will. Before I had finished speaking in my heart, behold, Rebekah came out with her jar on her shoulder, and she went down to the spring and drew water. I said to her, "Please let me drink." She quickly let down her jar from her shoulder and said, "Drink, and I will give your camels drink also." So I drank, and she gave the camels drink also. Then I asked her, "Whose daughter are you?" She said, "The daughter of Bethuel, Nahor's son, who Milcah bore to him." Put the ring on her nose. Oh, it was a nose ring. Okay. So I put the ring on her nose and the bracelets on her arms. Then I bowed. I mean, she must have already had a nose ring because that's not something that you just let anybody do. You know, I mean, you already have to have a hole there. You don't just do a new one. Anyway, then I bowed my head and worshipped the Lord and blessed the Lord, the God of my master Abram, who had led me to the right way to take the daughter of my master's kinsman, for his son. Now then, if you were going to show steadfast love and faithfulness to my master, tell me, and if not, tell me that I may turn to the right hand or to the left. And I really need some glasses. Then Laban and Bethuel answered and said, the thing has come from the Lord. We cannot speak to you bad or good. Behold, Rebekah is before you. Take her and go, and let her be the wife of your master's son, as the Lord has spoken. That's a weird response, isn't it? Laban and Bethuel. So I know Bethuel is the father. I must have forgotten. I'm sure that they mentioned who Laban was. Anyway, the thing has come from the Lord. We cannot speak to you bad or good. Oh, okay. So they probably have. So the father probably had a little bit of a problem, but since he believed it was God's will, he kind of went along with it. That's what it sounds like. Because when you have somebody say, "Oh, I can't speak bad or good," well, it's bad. You know, they're just choosing not to. They're choosing to remain neutral. So when Abram's servant heard the words, he bowed himself to the earth before the Lord, and the servant bought out jewelry of silver and gold, and garments, and gave them to Rebekah. He also gave to her brother, Blazing Fruity. Hey, thank you so much for following on Twitch, Blazing Flurry. Appreciate it. And the servant bought out jewelry. Okay, he bought out more jewelry for her. Okay. He also gave to her brother and her mother costly ornaments. And he and the man who were with him ate and drank. And they spent the night there. When they arose in the morning, he said, send me away to my master. Her brother and her mother said, remain with us a while, at least 10 days. After that, she may go. It's a little shenanigans, isn't it? I mean, how is she going to find her way? A little bit shenanigans, I would say. But he said to them, do not delay me, since the Lord has prospered my way. Send me away, that I may go to my master. They said, let us call the young woman and ask her. And they called Rebekah and said to her, will you go with this man? She said, I will go. So they sent away Rebekah, their sister, and her nurse, and Abram's servant with his men. And they blessed Rebekah and said to her, Our sister, may you become thousands of 10,000s, and may your offspring possess the gate of those who hate him. Okay, so she's not by herself. She's with her sister and her nurse. Or some thousands of may you become thousands of 10,000s, and may your offspring possess the gate of those who hate him. I don't know who they're talking to about there, but that's basically, wishing her, that that her offspring, she has a lot of babies, and her descendants are many. That's basically, I think, what that wish means. But offspring possess the gate of those who hate him. I got no idea who they're talking about there. Then Rebekah and her young women arose and rode on the camels and followed the man. Thus the servant took Rebekah and went his way. Now Isaac had returned from Beer Lahai Rol, and was dwelling in the Negev. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field towards evening. And he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, there were camels coming. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she dismounted from the camel and said to the servant, Who is this man walking in the field to meet us? The servant said, It is my master. So she took her veil and covered herself. And the servant told Isaac all the things that he had done. Then Isaac brought her into the tent, and Sarah his mother, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. And he loved her. So Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. Comforted after his mother's death. Okay. Abram's death and his descendants. Abram took another wife, whose name was Keturah. Another one. She bore him Zimran, Joksan, Medan, Midian, Ishak, and Schwab. Jokshan fathered Sheba and Dedan. The son of Dedan were Ashumin, Letushim, and Leumim. Sorry. So this is like the Bible goes into actually more like the Old Testament. It tells you like a story, and then it goes into kind of like genealogy, and like it tracks it, and I don't know, it like turns on and off, kind of like historical mode between kind of like an information, like an info dump, and then it goes back into the story. So this is one of those. Okay, the son of Midan were Ephad, Epher, Hanok, Abida, Elda. All these were the children of Keturah. Abraham gave all he had to Isaac, but to the sons of his concubines Abraham gave gifts, and while he was still living, he sent them away from his son Isaac eastward to the east country. Yeah, you know why he did that, right? To avoid conflict. Yep. You know who else did that? Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan sent his sons to different parts of the empire. One went to Europe. The other one went to China. One stayed in Siberia, and the reason for that is so the descendants don't fight each other, because they will kill each other. Unfortunately, that's how it works. Also, there's a lot of jealousy, and you can see that when there's when like an older family member dies, like a grandfather, grandmother, or even like parents and stuff. All the kids, people change, man. People change, and it's not necessarily greed. Um, it's almost like status, right? Like whoever gets the house was like the best child, right? The actual worth of the house or the whatever super cool thing or the ranch or whatever, that doesn't really matter. It's what it represents. So a lot of people think, oh well, that's greedy. It's greed. Greed corrupts people, and it can happen even if the kids have money. Okay, even if the kids are like comfortable, because or I would say sure, like the greed thing happens, but it's not necessary. Okay, it's not necessary, and like right here. So he gave everybody else, all his children gifts, and I know that Abraham, his business was cattle, goats and sheep, but like massive. He was, his flocks were so massive that he had shepherds work for him. Okay, because it was just like in an industrial scale. Okay, so and he had money, and the sons would benefit from that as well, but you send them away, and that's the reason. So um, just he was very, very wise and aware, okay, of human nature. Okay, you know what could happen. But the other thing is that well, he had to take a third wife. I didn't know that. Oh, always I thought that Abraham just had two wives. Had that the Egyptian girl, um, the servant, and then Sarah. And but this is a surprise. And he was already old. He was gonna take us, like a third wife. And I know that Sarah didn't like it. There's a lot of context that the Bible kind of suppresses. It kind of shortens it. So it's just to I guess to save space or whatever. But God told him that his descendants were as numerous as the sands, or as the stars, and just guy was into reproduction. Just I think that could have been one of his motivators in being so successful, is just so he can afford all these kids. So anyway, Abram took another wife whose name was Keturah. Okay, yeah, I knew about that. Okay. Okay. These are the days of Abram's life, 175 years. Oof. Actually, that's a little bit more over than the last character that whose age was counted. It was like 99. So I thought that Abraham's age would, be around 99, but 75. Abraham breathed his last and died in a good old age, an old man and full of years, and was gathered to his people, Isaac and Ishmael. Oh, Ishmael returned. His sons buried him in the cave of Machpelah, in the field of Ephon, the son of Zohar, the Hittite, east of Mamre. The field that Abram purchased from the Hittites. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. There, Abram was buried with Sarah, his wife. After the death of Abram, God blessed Isaac, his son, and Isaac settled at Beer Lahai Roi. Oh, okay. So that's the place of Rebecca, actually. These are the generations of Ishmael, Abram's son, Abram's second son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's servant, bore to Abram. These are the names of the sons of Ishmael, named in the order of their birth. Nebaioth, the firstborn of Ishmael, and Kedar, Abdil, Mitzban, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Adad, Tema, Jetur, Nachfish, and Kedema. These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are their names by their villages and by their encampments. 12 princes according to the tribes. These are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. How long did Isaac live? He breathed his last and died and was gathered to his people. They settled from Havilah to Shur, which is opposite of Egypt, in the direction of Assyria. He settled over against all his kinsmen. So opposite to Assyria, so that would be on the east side of Egypt, which is northern Arabia. And like by the end of the north of the Red Sea. No, actually, I'm sorry, no, because Egypt still ruled the like the little part, the north side of the Red Sea. That was Egypt also. I think that was the border, and after that it was just kind of like northern Arabia. So he settled there, and against all his kinsmen, they told him not to do it. He went and did it anyway. You know, sometimes you gotta do that. Sometimes you gotta just do your thing. The birth of Esau and Jacob. These are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham fathered Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, the Aramean, of Padan Aram, the sister of Laban, an Aramean, to his wife. Oh, I'm sorry. Man. the daughter of Bethuel the Aramean of Padam Aram, the sister of Laban. So that's the one that was there with Rebekah's father. Okay. The Aramean to his wife. Okay. So it was so Laban is Rebekah's mother, basically. And Isaac prayed to the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord granted his prayer, and Rebekah his wife conceived. The children struggled together within her. And she said, "If it is thus, why is this happening to me?" So she went to inquire of the Lord, and the Lord said to her, "Two nations are in your womb." Oh, she's pregnant with twins. Hmm. She conceived. The children struggled together with her. Okay, so she conceived. All right. Two nations are in your womb, and two peoples from within you shall be divided, and one shall be stronger than the other, and the older shall serve the younger. When her days to give birth were completed, behold, there was twins in her womb. The first came out red, all his body like a hairy cloak, and they called his name Esau. Afterward his brother came out with his hand holding Esau's heel. So his name was called Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when she bore them. When the boys grew up, Esau was a skillful hunter, a man of the field, while Jacob was a quiet man, dwelling in tents. Isaac loved Esau because he ate of his game, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Hmm. Once, when Jacob was cooking stew, Esau sells his birthright. Okay. Once, when Jacob was cooking stew, Esau came in from the field, and he was exhausted. And Esau said to Jacob, "Let me eat some of that red stew, for I am exhausted." Therefore his name was called Edom. Jacob said, "Sell me your birthright now." Esau said, "I am about to die. Of what use is a birthright to me?" Jacob said, "Swear to me now." So he swore to him and sold his birthright to Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and lentil stew, and he ate and drank, and rose and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. What the hell? He came from the field and he was exhausted. And I don't think he understood what he was doing. I mean, to what use is of me a birthright? God's promise to Isaac. Now there was famine in the land, besides the former famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went to Gerar the to, I'm sorry, and Isaac went to, Gerar to Abimelech, king of the Philistines. All right, so Abimelech was in this place called Gerar. Got it. And the Lord appeared to him and said, do not go down to Egypt. Dwell in that land in which I shall tell you. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with you, and will bless you. For to you and to your offspring I will give all these lands, and I will establish the oath that I swore to Abram, your father. I will multiply your offspring as the stars of heaven, and I will give to your offspring all these lands. And in your offspring all the nations of the earth shall be blessed. Because Abram obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. All right, so it's telling him there was a famine. So last time there was a famine in the area, Abram went to Egypt because Egypt, they keep stores of wheat. It's one of the reasons that they venerate cats, because the cats would keep the pests from eating the. So that was his solution. He went to Egypt to trade in order to get food, in order to get past the famine. So it looks like he's about to do the same thing, and God told him not to do it. I lost myself. Hold on. Okay. Isaac and Abimelech. So Isaac settled in Geraz. When the man of the place asked him about his wife, he said, she is my sister. Okay, so same tactic as his parent, same tactic as his father. You know, lie about your wife, say that your wife is your sister, because I guess if you say that's your wife, they will want to kill you. Kind of like a lion. Lions do that. They will want to kill you so they can take her. For he feared to say, my wife, thinking, lest the man of the place should kill me because of Rebekah. Yep. See, but the thing is, if you are under the watchful eye of God, right? If you're being blessed, in business and like all these other things, then that would be unnecessary. But just people get scared, because she was attractive in appearance. When he had been there a long time, Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out of a window and saw Isaac laughing with Rebekah, his wife. Oh, by the way, Abimelech, I remember that I think he married Sarah once, because the same thing. He said that it was his sister, but Abimelech is a king, so he took her in as one of his wives, and then there was like disease or something, and then Abimelech found out that it was a curse from God because he took Abraham's wife, and then really, had a problem with it, and scolded Abraham, saying, "Well, if she's really your wife, why did you lie?" And then, got her in trouble. And then the same thing happened to a pharaoh of Egypt. Same thing. So Abimelech called Isaac and said, "Behold, she is your wife. How then could you say, she is my sister?" So like father, like son, I think that Abimelech, instead of just, just biting the thing that looked tasty, just kind of moving in, he has become more careful, especially because it's the son of the other guy that he had problems with. Abimelech said, "What is this you have done to us? One of the people might easily have one of the people may have easily lain with your wife, and you would have brought guilt upon us." Same thing that happened last time. So Abimelech warned all the people, saying, "Whoever touches this man or his wife shall surely be put to death." And Isaac sowed in that land and reaped in the same year 100-fold. Today we call that 100x. 100x returns. Let's see, 100-fold. The Lord blessed them, and the man became rich and gained more and more until he became very wealthy. By the way, he's doing this during a famine. So that would be equal, like nowadays, to, doing it during a bear market. Bear market and, stocks and crypto and stuff. He had possessions of flocks and herds and many servants, so that the Philistines envied him. Now the Philistines had stopped and filled with earth all the wells that his father's servant had dug in the days of Abraham his father. Wow, that's dirty. That's dirty, because I remember Abraham was in that land before. So he made a bunch of wells, and the Philistines filled them with dirt. Wow, that's dirty, dude. And Abimelech said to Isaac, "Go away from us, for you are much mightier than we." So Isaac departed from there and encamped in the valley of Gerar and settled there. And Isaac dug again the wells of water that had been dug in the days of Abraham his father. Okay, so recovering the wells, which the Philistines had stopped after the death of Abraham. And he gave them the names that his father had given them. But when Isaac's servants dug in the valley and found there a well of spring water, the herdsmen of Gerar quarreled with Isaac's herdsmen, saying, "The water is ours." So he called the name of the well Esek, because they contended with him. Then they dug another well, and they quarreled over that, and also, so he called its name Sitma, or Sitna. And he moved from there and dug another well, and they did not quarrel over it. So he called its name Rehoboth, saying, "For now the Lord has made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land." Wow. Wow. So people come in. He did all the work to dig 2 wells, okay? And he just let them have it. Wow. I mean, that's very similar to, problems that you might have with neighbors, Um, just people trying to grab your stuff without working, without putting in the work. And he kind of just let it go. He let it go. He kept the one that he wasn't contented on, and just didn't have a problem. So sometimes you gotta let bad people win, I guess. Well, especially I think because he was settled there, right? He was settled in that same valley. So you let the bad people win, and you kind of just kind of like let it go. You don't contest, you don't get snappy. You're just like, oh, okay. Um, I imagine you would defend yourself a little bit. You would say like, hey, I dug the well. This well was here for a long time. It was filled with dirt. You guys could have dug it back up, and you didn't. Okay, I did. Like my father made these wells, and digging down for water with just shovels, that's not easy. Okay. So, I guess, you would defend yourself, little bit, but if they insist, you're just like, okay, well, okay. And then they do it twice. But, these are his neighbors. It's like basically country neighbors. He's in the country, it's in the middle of nowhere. So maybe, maybe if you let some bad guys win, in this case, some of these parasitical people, parasitical behavior, um, their neighbors. Maybe that's better than doing the right thing and then be surrounded by bitter neighbors that are gonna seek to try to do you more harm. So maybe it's that logic of the bear's after you or something, and then you give the bear stuff to eat so it gets filled. So bear or a big beast, big lion, big tiger, whatever, they're not as likely to try to go after you or keep trying to go after you if they have their belly full. So maybe that was the strategy here. Or I don't know, it said that Isaac was a quiet man, so it could have been that he was cunning, but he wasn't courageous, right? Because he was like a tent dweller. Esau was the dude that went out to hunt, which takes more courage. So it could have been a genius move, or it could have been just the result of his cowardice. From there he went up to Rebekah. Oh, I'm sorry. From there he went up to Beersheba, and the Lord appeared to him the same night and said, I am the God of Abraham your father. Fear not, that I am with you, and I will bless you, and multiply your offspring for my servant Abraham's sake. So he built an altar there, and called upon the names of the Lord, and called upon the name of the Lord, and pitched his tent there, and there Isaac's servants dug a well. All right, so this is second well in the new place, in the valley of Gerar. When Abimelech went to him from Gerar, from Ahuzath, his advisor and Phicol, the commander of his army. Okay, so Abimelech went over there with an army? No, or it could have been just him and Phicol. Isaac said to them, "Why have you come to me, seeing that you hate me and have sent me away from you?" They said, "We see plainly that the Lord has been with you." So we said, "Let there be a sworn pact between us, between you and us, and let us make a covenant with you, that you will do us no harm, just as we have not touched you and have done to you nothing but good, and have sent you away in peace. You are now the blessed of the Lord." Okay. So he made them a feast, and they ate and drank. In the morning they rose early and exchanged oaths. And Isaac sent them on their way, and they departed from him in peace. That same day Isaac's servants came and told him about the well that they had dug, and said to him, "We have found water." He called it Shebab. Therefore, the name of the city is Beersheba to this day. When Esau was 40 years old, he took Judith, the daughter of Beeri the Hittite, to be his wife, and Basemath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and they made life better for Isaac and Rebekah. Infighting. So Esau takes two wives, and they have some drama with Isaac. Well, I mean, would it really have been that way if well, hold on. Why would Esau do that to his dad? Isaac blesses Jacob. When Isaac was old, and his eyes were dim so that he could not see, he called Esau his older son, and said to him, "My son." And he answered, "Here I am." He said, "Behold, I am old. I do not know the day of my death. Now then, take your weapons, your quiver and your bow, and go out to the field and hunt game for me, and prepare for me delicious food such as I love, and bring it to me so that I may eat, that my soul may bless you before I die." Okay, and I also remember that Jacob liked Esau because of his hunting. I guess he was like he would hunt, and then he would cook, what he hunted. And I guess his brother and his father liked him for that. Now Rebekah was listening to when Isaac spoke to his son Esau. Okay, Rebekah favors Jacob. So when Esau went to the field to hunt for game and bring it, Rebekah said to her son Jacob, "I heard your father speak to your brother Esau. Bring me game and prepare for me delicious food that I might eat it, bless you before the Lord before I die. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice as I command you. Go to the flock and bring me 2 good young goats, so that I might prepare from them delicious food for your father, such as he loves. And you shall bring it to your father to eat, so that he may bless you before he dies. But Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Behold, my brother Esau is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. Perhaps my father will feel me, and I shall seem to be mocking him, and bring a curse upon myself, and not a blessing. His mother said to him, Let your curse be on me, my son. Only obey my voice, and go bring them to me. What a schemer. So he went and took them and brought them to his mother, and his mother prepared delicious food, such as his father loved. Then Rebekah took the best garments of Esau, her older son, which were with her in the house, and put them, the best garments of Esau, stole his clothes, and put them on Jacob, her older son. And the skins of the young goats she put on his hands, on the smooth parts of his neck. And she put the delicious food and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son. So he went to his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am. Who are you, my son? Jacob said to his father, I am Esau, your firstborn. I have done as you told me. Now sit up and eat of my game, that your soul may bless me. But Isaac said to his son, How is it that you have found it so quickly, my son? He answered, Because the Lord your God grant me success. Wow, using God for your schemes. Wow, how scummy. When Isaac said to Jacob, Please come near, that I truly feel you. Okay, so I think that Jacob is like kind of like half deaf and half blind. So he's trying to use tactile input, so that I know whenever you are really my son Esau or not. So Jacob went near to Isaac his father, who filled him and said, The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he did not recognize him, because his hands were hairy like his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. He said, Are you really my son Esau? He answered to him, I am. Then he said, Bring it near to me, that I may eat of my son's game and bless you. So he brought it near to him, and he ate. And he brought him wine and drank. Then his father Isaac said to him, Come near and kiss me, my son. So he came near and kissed him, and Isaac smelled the smell of his garments and blessed him and said, okay, right, because you have a specific smell on your clothes. See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field that the Lord has blessed. My God give you of the dew of heaven and of the earth, and plenty of grain, and people serve you. and nations bow down to you. Be Lord over your brothers, and may your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be everyone who curses you, and blessed be everyone who blesses you. As soon as Isaac had finished blessing Jacob, when Jacob had scarcely gone out from the presence of Isaac, his father, Esau, his brother, came in from his hunting. He also prepared delicious food and brought it to his father. And he said to his father, "Let my father arise and eat of his son's game, that you may bless me." His father Isaac said to him, "Who are you?" He answered, "I am your son, your firstborn Esau." Then Isaac trembled very violently and said, Who was it then? Who was it then that hunted game and brought it to me, and I ate it all before you came, and I have blessed him? Yes, and he shall be blessed." As soon as Esau heard the words of his father, he cried out with an exceedingly great and bitter cry, and said to his father, "Bless me, even me also, O father." But he said, "Your brother came deceitfully, and he has taken away your blessing." Esau said, "Is he not rightly named Jacob? For he has cheated me. These 2 times he took away my birthright, and behold, now he has taken away my blessing." He said, "Have you not reserved a blessing for me?" Isaac answered and said to Esau, "Behold, I have made him lord over you, and all his brothers I have given to him for servants, and with grain and wine I have sustained him. What then can I do for you, my son?" Esau said to his father, "Have you but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O father." And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Then Isaac his father answered to him, "Behold, away from the fatness of the earth shall your dwelling be, away from the dew of heaven on high. By your sword you shall live, and you shall serve your brother. But when you grow restless, you shall break his yoke from your neck." Now Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing with which his father had blessed him, and Esau said to himself, "The days of mourning for my father are approaching. Then I will kill my brother Jacob." But the words of Esau, her older son, were told to Rebekah. So she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said to him, "Behold, your brother Esau comforts himself about you by planning to kill you. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice. Arise, flee to Laban, my brother in Haran, and stay with him a while, until your brother's fury turns away, until your brother's anger turns from you, and he forgets what you have done to him. Then I will send and bring you from there. Why should I be bereft of you both in one day?" Then Rebekah said to Isaac, "I loathe my life because of the Hittite women. If Jacob marries one of the Hittite women like these, one of the women of the land, what good will my life be to me?" Wow. Well, that's messed up. And it wasn't even Jacob's fault, you know? Jacob was just like a nerd, you know? He was just like a nerd, and he was his mother's puppet. And I don't know why Rebecca would do this. You know, she would just, you know, prefer prefer Jacob. I mean, just because of that? I don't know. Messed up, I say. All right, we'll leave it there. Ugh. Messed up things that people do, man. Why can't people just be cool? Anyway, all right, guys. Well, that's the 1 hour. We're at 1 hour 7 minutes. So thank you so much for joining me, and have a great Sunday. And don't forget to take care of your business. And I'll see you next time.